Hi students, now we are going to compare two chapters, that is electrostatics and magnetism, to make the concepts easier. So first, minus Q plus Q are two equal and opposite charges separated by a small distance. Let it be 2D or 2R, no problem. So now this is called as an electric dipole. Right? Here, take a bar magnet, south pole, north pole, separated by a small distance, 2L, which is called as an magnetic dipole. Right? And the south pole has got a pole strength M, the north pole has got again a pole strength M, small m. Then, electric dipole moment. Small p is called as electric dipole moment, which is nothing but any one of the charges q into distance between two charges. Here, magnetic dipole moment, capital M. So any one of the pole strength into the distance between the two poles. Here the unit is Coulomb meter. Here the unit is ampere meter squared, because the unit of pole strength is ampere meter into meter. So ampere meter squared. Then electric flux phi is equal to E A, or d phi is equal to E into ds. From this we can derive electric field formula. Electric field formula is nothing but phi, flux per unit area. Here the magnetic flux phi is equal to B into A, magnetic field into area, or d phi is equal to B into dA, or the magnetic field formula here is flux per unit area. Right? Let me rub. Now, the electric potential difference. So dV is equal to minus E into dR. A small value of potential difference is equal to electric field into the distance. So magnetic potential difference. Here again dV is equal to minus B into dR. So the magnetic potential difference, magnetic field, the distance. Coulomb's inverse square law. Inverse square law. So here F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Q1, Q2 are the 2 point charges by, we can say R squared or D squared, like that. So let me take that as R squared. And Coulomb's inverse square law. This is for electrostatics, this is for magnetism. So here F is equal to mu naught by 4 pi, in place of Q1, Q2, M1, M2. The two pole strengths of two poles, two different poles, right? By D square. Right? Now, even I can write electric potential as V is equal to work done on a unit charge. Here magnetic potential can also be defined as work done on a unit pole strength. On a unit pole strength, right? Then axial line, that is electric field due to an electric dipole along the axial line. One by 4 pi epsilon naught 2 p by r cube, where small p is the electric dipole moment, r is the distance. Now epsilon naught is the permittivity of free space, whose value is 8.854 into 10 to the power of minus 12 c squared n inverse m power minus 2 as the unit. Here axial line, that is magnetic induction due to a bar magnet along the axial line, is 2 in place of small p, capital M in place of r cube, d cube. So capital M is the magnetic dipole moment. Mu naught is called as permeability of free space, whose value is 4 pi into 10 to the power of minus 7 Henry per meter as a unit. So electric field due to an electric dipole along the equatorial line is small p by r cube. Here magnetic induction due to a bar magnet along the equatorial line is, in place of p, capital M, in place of r cube, d cube. Okay, let me write this. Torque. Torque experienced by an electric dipole placed in an electric field. Tau is equal to small p, capital E, electric field, into sin theta. Here torque on a bar magnet placed in a magnetic field is tau is equal to, in place of small p, capital M, in place of capital E, here magnetic field, capital B, sin theta. Then electrostatic potential energy or electric potential energy, epsilon is equal to minus Pe cos theta. Here magnetostatic or magnetic potential energy is epsilon is equal to minus mb cos theta. So in place of small p, I am using capital M here. Now, see, electrostatic potential energy is nothing but it is the work done in rotating an electric dipole to any desired position. Likewise, magnetic potential is nothing but, so it is the work done in rotating a bar magnet to any desired position. Right. Next, see, the electric field due to a long, infinitely long charged wire using Gauss law. Electric field due to an infinitely long charged wire. So uniformly charged wire it is. So using Gauss law, E is equal to 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught lambda by R. Likewise, magnetic induction due to an infinitely long current carrying conductor, B is equal to mu naught by 2 pi into I by A. So I hope that you might have understood the comparison between these two chapters. Thank you.